Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another Thursday edition of Jake's Hot Takes. I am your host, as always, Jake McVey, joined here by my co-host, Matthew Galgano. Matt, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing fantastic today.
It's exactly what I like to hear, and I'm feeling fantastic too because these Knicks managed to steal both games in Detroit and are now up in the series 3-1.
It is fantastic.
We're recording this actually the day of Game 5, so if the Knicks have won the series, you will know long before we do. So let's talk about what we saw in Game 3. I'm going into this, or Game 4. I'm assuming that they're going to win Game 5. I'm assuming that they close out the series tonight.
I'm hoping.
So we've had terrible takes before, age really poorly. So let's hope that this isn't one of them. Let's hope the Knicks come away with that W. If not, we'll be talking about it on Sunday. But anyway, let's get into what we saw in Game 4. Now, it was an absolute brawl with these two teams. Let me tell you, it was a brutal battle. These two teams are playing with so much physicality and so much grit. Final score, 94-93 Knicks. This game was pure heart and pure hustle out of these Knicks. Do you have anybody you'd like to exemplify today, Matt?
I mean, of course, Jalen Brunson. He's had a fantastic playoff so far, and he's really just a playoff riser. I mean, he's had above 30 points in each of the Knicks wins so far. So it's just a great thing to see.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, it was a phenomenal performance out of Brunson. He basically did exactly what we had been criticizing him for earlier in the series, where he did get his scoring options in, but he also managed to facilitate the offense really well. He finishes the night with 32 points on 13 of 26 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, and 11 assists. That is a beautiful number. He led the team in assists. Not just the team, he led the entire game in assists, only rivaled by Cade, who finished the night with 10 assists himself. And Cade really does seem to be the story of this series. I mean, he is, in a word, phenomenal. And it really does come down to a lot of McCall Bridges actually doing a pretty good job playing defense on him. McCall himself had a pretty poor performance offensively in Game 4 with a final stat line, I'll say, of 8 points on 3 for 12 from the field. Really awful shooting night. 2 for 6 from 3. A little better percentage-wise, but not by that much.
Yeah, I think something to pay attention to is how good Jalen Brunson has been in the fourth quarter. He leads all players in fourth quarter points this season with 53, and that's just great. I mean, in the clutch, he's been unstoppable, and he was very deserving of that clutch player of the year, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, we call him Captain Clutch for a reason, and it is because he is quickly making an argument for one of the most clutch basketball players I have ever seen with my own two eyes. It's like whenever the moment calls, he rises to the occasion and he completes, he executes. And it's not just physical plays, it's smart plays too. He does exactly what the team needs to get him done, and that's why he's Clutch Player of the Year. That's why he's the captain. That's why he's the best point guard in the East. And that's why he's the best player on the court in this series.
He definitely is the best player on the court, and he's proved that. His play has far improved that. I also saw another stat that said that in playoff games with 30-plus points and 10-plus assists, in Knicks franchise history, Jalen Brunson has 5 of those games, and every other player in franchise history combined has 3. So he's already becoming one of the franchise greats. It's really good to see. Hopefully they can just close out the series when it's all said and done.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we are witnessing like an all-time Knick career rising before our very eyes. I mean, taking this team to back-to-back 50-plus win seasons for the first time since like 95 or something like that. I don't remember the exact year when we did it last, but Brunson is just bringing life into this team that we haven't really seen before. And speaking of bringing life, Karl Anthony Towns finally brought himself to life. I know that we were having some concerns on Towns' play, but Towns has finally arrived, and man, he looks great. That behind the backboard floater, I'm watching that, and I'm thinking, what? Like, my mind was just completely blown, and I love the physicality out of Cat. I love how I love how angry he played. Again, I mean, I sound like a broken record a bit, but Cat has been accused of being soft for his entire career, and now he's finally here, and he's being physical, and I think that New York uniform is doing something to him. I think it's like the symbiote, you know, like the black Spider-Man suit. It's like taking over his brain, and it's making him more angry and aggressive. He's driving to the basket, and he had himself a pretty good three-point shooting performance. Cat finishes the night with 27 points on 10 of 23 from the field and 5 of 7 from 3. Woo! Woo! They had to get a fire extinguisher out in Little Caesars Arena because that man's hands were on fire. Really good performance. He also finishes the night with 9 rebounds. So very close to getting that classic Karl Anthony Towns double-double, but not quite. Matt, tell me about Josh Hart.
Josh Hart, I mean, he played fantastic. A nice little double-double, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Just there when the team needs him is really what it is. I really like the role that they're having him play. Not too much volume on shooting. And when they give him some chances, he's pretty good with it. 4 for 9 from the field. Not terrible, not great. He's there when they need him to be, you know?
Yeah, and 3 for 5 on the three-point shots. That is helpful, you know, because I mean, he made the third most threes on the team compared to everybody. So that's compared to McCall, that's compared to OG, that's even compared to Deuce and Campaign.
Yeah. Also 4 steals in that game, so that's pretty good too.
Yeah, no, he did have a big night defensively.
Yeah.
He was just like white on rice, so to speak. Poor Tobias Harris had couldn't make anything of it. And that really has been Josh Hart's motif is he really is just that 3-and-D guy who can also facilitate an offense a little bit and rebound a lot. And that's important because with Mitchell Robinson getting so many limited minutes, we kind of are lacking in the size department out there, and that can translate to lacking in rebounds because, you know, I love OG, but he's not like a big rebound guy. He's not the kind of guy like, yeah, he'll get it if it's there, but it's not like part of OG's game is securing rebounds.
Yeah.
I would say that Towns is the only starter who, like, a primary part of his game, the value that we expect him to bring is through rebounds. Other than Mitchell Robinson, I mean, Mitchell Robinson got 9 minutes in Game 4. He was barely out there. He got 3 rebounds. I mean, he's averaging a rebound every 3 minutes, but when you're only out there for 9 minutes, it doesn't do us a lot of good.
Yeah, really nothing from the bench, really, this game. Deuce McBride was in for a little bit, got cheeky 5 points, but that seems to be the biggest concern from this Knicks team going forward because it seems like they're going to clean this up and get into the next round of the playoffs. Doesn't really seem like anyone from the bench can step up and have a really great performance, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you even look at, like, the Pistons bench, and the Pistons at least had Malik Beasley coming off the bench, dropped 13 points. We have not had a night like that for anyone off the bench. I mean, Mitchell Robinson's offensive stats have looked awful, and so have Campaign's and Deuce's and even Shannott's. And these were all guys who we anticipated to get some minutes during this playoff roster, but I didn't exactly expect them to overperform, but I mean, Tibbs didn't make a substitution from the starting 5 in the entire second half. Like,
yeah.
I mean, these guys were getting worked down to the bone. I mean, you look at these minute counts. McCall played 44, OG played 39, Cat played 40, JB played 39, and Hart played 42. And JB only played 39 because he got hurt and he came back later. So, you know, it's a little concerning. Like, don't get me wrong. I love that our starting 5 can get out there and play an entire half of basketball and, you know, come away with a win while the Pistons are running, you know, 4 guys off the bench with 2 of them getting significant minutes. I mean, Schroeder and Beasley are significant pieces to this Pistons team right now. So it's not like they were putting slouches out there. But, you know, the fresh legs, they held up for the Knicks. JB even said that he's thankful that Tibbs had played him during the season for so long because it keeps him in shape for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I guess this was the master plan all along because these 5 guys, they kicked some Piston butt.
You know, the big narrative going into this game and surrounding Brunson has been that he's a free throw merchant, that he draws fouls. In the fourth quarter, he had 0 free throw attempts in the massive fourth quarter, 15 points, and he just played great. It was a quiet scene in Detroit is really what it was.
Yeah, Little Caesars Arena was looking pretty sad. I mean, And hey, I can't blame him. If I were a fan of the Pistons and we're finally back in playoff contention only to lose to the Knicks in the first round, I'd be pretty upset about it too. Especially when the only thing Pistons fans have to lean on is saying that the refs favor the Knicks and give the Knicks all the calls and stuff. But then JB goes and puts up 32 points with 0 free throws in the second half. It's like, what can you say now, Pistons fans? Yeah, really, what excuses do we have now? I think the whole Knicks getting all the ref calls thing is completely ridiculous. Like, was that play at the end a foul? Yeah, it was. I think anyone can admit that. But am I surprised that the refs didn't call it based on what they had been calling this entire series? No, I'm not surprised they didn't call it a foul at all. I know that Bitterstaff was real upset. JB Bitterstaff was really bitter that the refs didn't call that call. He had the entire Pistons coaching staff out there looking sorry. But look, this is playoff basketball. This is physical basketball. Karl Anthony Towns is getting the crud kicked out of him every time he gets down in the paint, and we're gonna act like the truth is, Malik Beasley would have missed the free throws anyway.
Exactly. The thing about all of that is that in each of these Knicks wins, it feels like the Pistons have choked some type of lead.
Yeah.
Whether it be a massive lead, like a 15-point lead, or in this game, like an 8-point lead. Still, they've choked in each lead that they've had. Even in their one win, that was an almost comeback by the Knicks. So, you know what? It's just, you can't, as a team, you can't let yourself be put in a position where it's going to be decided by fouls every single game.
Exactly. They call Brunson a foul merchant, and they say the Knicks, but then they need to rely on the free throws in order to win the game. So who's really the free throw merchant? If we can win the game without free throws and you can't, who's really the free throw merchant?
Exactly, right.
Detroit Pistons fans, comment something angry. I'm calling you out. If you're a Detroit Pistons fan listening to this right now, say something angry. But no, something that I did want to mention that gives me a lot of concern for a second round playoff matchup, rebounds. We did not have a lot of them. We finished the night with 39 rebounds as a team. The Pistons finished with 54. That is completely unacceptable.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's definitely disappointing, especially when you have a guy like Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench whose entire personality is rebounds. Josh Hart did well, but no one else on the team even cracked 10 rebounds. So
yeah, and usually Cat is there kind of filling that role. Usually Cat is right in between that 9 to 12 rebound range.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of a quiet rebound night at a Cat, but still, I mean, even if Cat had ended up getting that double-double, that would still only put us at a 15-point rebound or a 15 rebound discrepancy, which playing a team like the Pistons, who, their power forward, who is Malik Beasley, I believe, Tobias Harris is their starting power forward. Their starting forward, Tobias Harris, he is not a rebound first kind of guy. He's not like a big man. He's kind of like OG, where he doesn't really fill that role. So the fact that the Pistons don't even have a true number one, and even then, Duren he had a monstrous amount of rebounds in Game 4. He had 17 rebounds, but it's not like Duren is renowned for his rebounding ability. It's not like the Pistons have anyone on their roster that is that much better of a rebounder than Mitchell Robinson or Cat or Josh Hart. It's just that they're doing it more. And that really concerns me, because you play a team like Boston or you play a team like Cleveland and you're down 15 rebounds, you're going to lose that game. I don't care what team you are. If you lose that rebound battle by 15 to Boston, there is not a chance you're winning that game.
I think it's even going to be an issue when you have to play a team like the Pacers, who have a guy like Miles Turner on the inside who can get those rebounds,
Yeah, I completely agree. It's something that I'm concerned about. Anything else?
No, I can't think of anything.
All right. Well, when we get back, we're going to be talking a little bit of the other series. We're talking a little Lakers, T-Wolves. We're talking a little Bucks and Pacers. So make sure you stick around for that. It's the NBA playoffs right here on Jake's Hot Takes, only on WGNY 1220 94.5 News Talk Sports. We'll be right back after this.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostic. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
You've long known that Newburgh Auto Spa on Route 17K utilizes top caliber products and the latest technology to give your vehicle the proper maintenance it needs. Whether it be a computerized soft cloth car wash, detailing consisting of a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper cleaning of your entire interior and exterior, or a fuel-efficient oil change from a trained technician, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Now, Newburgh Auto Spa is a full-service automotive center. That's right, Newburgh Auto Spa now offers tires, brakes, rotors, tune-ups, alternators, and more, all with the same professionalism and quality you've become accustomed to. For a full list of automotive services offered in specials, go to NewburghAutospa.com. Whether you need a basic car wash, a quick oil change, or now more extensive automotive service, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean, located at 86 Route 17K and online at NewburghAutospa.com. Now offering a full range of automotive services. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to RomaDeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, what makes my oven smell so bad when I self-clean?
Self-clean, my favorite weapon in the world. Self-cleaning is a brutal environment. Most people don't think about it. They hear self-clean. I'm not really sure if they're picturing scrubbing bubbles inside there, but what's really happening is we're heating the oven up hot enough to carbonize protein. We're going to take the food stuff that's left in your stove, and we're actually going to carbonize it. We're going to turn it to dust. So we're at 700 degrees. So why does it smell bad? You're setting fire to a chicken. Today, a lot of the new stoves, because of the energy guidelines, there is no real self-clean anymore. They don't want those high temperatures. It's a huge waste of energy. It's very easy. You don't have to get on your hands and knees and your back doesn't hurt. You're not scrubbing the stove, but we use a ton of energy to clean the inside of that stove by heating it up.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome back to Jake's Hot Takes, and happy May to everybody. It's finally the springtime. I'm really excited for it. But what I'm more excited for is some of that playoff basketball. Matt, tell me a little bit about Lakers T-Wolves.
Well, it has been definitely a lopsided series here, and not in the ways that we expected coming into it. I definitely expected the Lakers to be pretty dominant in this series. And now, as of recording this on Tuesday, April 29th, obviously they play tomorrow. They're down 1-3 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And it seems like it's over for them. I mean, this is a pretty insurmountable comeback against a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I think something that is pretty apparent from this is that it seems like the NBA is shifting from trying to have the best player on the court to not having the worst player on the court, and that's really what it's turning into right now. The center help is really showing an issue for the Lakers. They don't have a guy who consistently get those rebounds, who can contest the inside, and it's just been barbecue chicken for Anthony Edwards in every single game. I mean, he's been great. He had 43 points. 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He's been playing great. He's been cooking. And they also have pretty talented guys on their team, too, who are able to get rebounds like Rudy Gobert, who's pretty great defensively and in the rebound department. So I just think this has proved that the Timberwolves are a more well built out team than the Lakers, even though the Lakers have Luka and they have LeBron. They have guys that are going to get a ton of points for them, and LeBron can still be great defensively, but they're just lacking that core aspect of their offense in a really good center.
No, I completely agree. And I think Rudy is the perfect basketball player to expose that weakness in the Lakers. Just the way that he can occupy that middle space. And Jackson Hayes, he can't do anything. Mm-hmm. He can't do anything. And that's why Dorian Finney-Smith is getting the eyes over him right now. I mean, Jackson Hayes started the game, but then he came off real quick, and Finney-Smith was in for the rest of the game. J.J. Redick pulled a Tom Thibodeau and did not make a substitution in the second half. So Bron and Luka and Rui and AR and Dorian Finney-Smith, those guys were playing with some, like, you could tell LeBron's age was starting to catch up to him right around the 42nd or the 43rd minute of play. You could tell that those knees were starting to buckle a little. I mean, God bless him, but Father Time is definitely coming for this man. And if you, assuming that LeBron comes back to play another season for LA, you cannot be giving him this kind of workload, man. He looked tired. He looked defeated towards the end. You had Anthony Edwards pushing him around a little bit. Like, credit to Ant, because honestly, if I had a performance like he did, I would be pushing everybody around too. I mean, 43 points, 12 of 23 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3. We won't mention the 14 free throws. They were definitely hacking him. It's not like he didn't earn those. But, a phenomenal performance out of Edwards. But, man, you got to give those Lakers a blow. You got to let them relax at some point. Because Bron playing 46 minutes at 40 years old, that just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, you even see a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith who had 41 minutes and only 6 points. Well, yeah, he got a lot of rebounds, but 2 for 7 from the field, that's not going to cut it, especially when you're given 41 minutes to play in the game, you know?
Yeah, completely
And also
agree.
a guy like Gabe Vincent on the bench who got 0 points. It just seems outside of the LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves core, this team just isn't really performing to the level that they need it to, especially with possibly the last year of LeBron James.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make one slight correction to what you said, because I do agree. There's not a lot of talent outside of the Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves core. But where you actually will find a lot of talent, and I've actually been pretty surprised at his performance this series, it's been Rui Hachimura.
Yeah.
He had a pretty quiet regular season. People weren't really all abuzz about him. But he's been pretty good in these last couple games. I mean, not only offensively, he also got it done defensively. I mean, he's put up 23 points last week, and then, statistically, Rui's impact won't show up on the stat sheet. I mean, 23 points was his biggest performing night of the series. But he's had a couple other pretty well-rounded games. But defensively, he is absolutely there. He's been playing very hard defense, and he's been making an impact, and he's kind of been almost like the defensive mastermind of this, where he is setting the pace for the defense. So I think that, yes, while I do agree there's not a lot of talent on this Lakers core other than the big three, you got to give a little shout out to Rui Hachimura, because I think he has been kind of playing his tail off. Do you think, now that we're here and now that the Timberwolves are laying absolute hands on the Lakers, do you think that there's any universe where the Timberwolves can actually beat the Thunder?
No, I really don't think so. I think the Thunder are just better than the Timberwolves. Like what I was saying earlier about the Thunder, the game right now is about not having the worst player on the court. The Thunder are as good as they are because they don't have a lot of bad players on their roster. In that series, you'd probably have people like Mike Conley Jr. being the weak link on that team. I mean, he was in the starting five, only got 2 points. So it's not like the Wolves have a perfect roster. It just seems like they're more well built out for what their players can do than the Lakers are in this series.
Yeah. And I'd say that part of what goes into the Wolves right now is just the fact that they have one guy that fits every single niche that they need. You know, they have Rudy Gobert, who's a very traditional center, protect the paint. I'm only going to go for, the occasional post move and maybe get a couple free throws in, and that's going to be my impact. Julius Randle, heavy-hitting, hard slasher, can come down. Julius Randle, former Knick, another guy who is beating the playoff choker allegations. He actually had himself a pretty big night, and he's had a pretty big couple of nights. He's been pretty good, 25, 22, and 27, and 16 in the series. So big shout-out to Julius Randle. People in New York said that he was a playoff choker, that he withered under the lights. So I'm happy to see him getting it done. But Julius Randle is a traditional power forward. And then, of course, Anthony Edwards is your classic small forward. He will get down and get in the lane and go and dunk on somebody's head and get the energy going and all that. And then, of course, you got Jaden McDaniels, classic shooting guard archetype, great on the defensive end and can get a couple three-pointers in there too. And Mike Conley does himself some facilitating, even though he didn't do quite a lot of it against the Lakers in Game 4. Basically what I'm saying is that this team has one guy on their starting roster that fills out the archetype that they need. The Lakers, they don't really have that. They kind of subscribe to that positionless basketball mentality, and they don't really have a lot of guys that can, fill a specific role. They're all just kind of good athletes who can shoot.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest takeaway from this series is that Anthony Edwards is that guy. He's one of the best players in the league, offensively at least.
Yeah, I'd say so.
He's been great for them. He's a great shooting guard. He's just been playing lights out for them, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. So I'm going to pivot real quick, and we're going to be talking about Bucks and Pacers. But I have a feeling that this conversation is going to stray more into the Bucks than it will the Pacers. The Pacers are, for those of you who don't know, the Pacers are a very good, very well-rounded basketball team. Tyrese Halliburton is very good. Pascal Siakam is an incredible playoff performer. Miles Turner is a great big man, and Andrew Nembhard does his thing. Let's talk about Giannis, because this series is going about as awfully as it possibly can for a Bucks fan, and to make matters worse, there is some possibility that this is Giannis's final series in a Bucks uniform.
I think it is. I think Giannis is out after this year. There's no reason for him not to be. Damian Lillard, it's pretty tragic what happened to him. He tore his Achilles in the fourth game of the series. Not great. And then there's just really no talent on this roster besides Giannis outside of him. They have Kyle Kuzma asking to be a second option, and he's not playing too great.
He's bad. He's really bad.
He's not playing too great. So it's really just, at this point, it seems like this series is over. It's just a matter of time before the Pacers win it. What do you think is next for Giannis after this game? Do you think he's going to stay with the Bucks? Do you think he's going somewhere else?
No, I think we're going to see Giannis finally make his exit from Milwaukee, and I think that the Bucks are going to be quite content to send him to the other side of the country. That way they, have to face him as few times in a season as possible. I think the possibility that we see Giannis go to the Houston Rockets is significantly higher than a lot of people would like it to be. And if you add Giannis to that Houston Rockets team, that roster, they immediately become one of the scariest rosters in the NBA. I mean, they fought their way hard up to a second seed in the West. They're taking on the old man Curry Warriors right now. And although the situation isn't looking good for the Rockets, they still have a young core that they can be excited about. I do think that the Warriors are going to end up walking away with this series because, it is 3-1. But I think Rockets fans should be excited for their future as a team and should definitely be excited for the prospect that Giannis is headed to Houston. Matt, do you have anywhere that you think Giannis might land? Anywhere freaky?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of teams that can make it work. I honestly think a team... A lot of people are saying Brooklyn. I don't think Brooklyn nearly has enough assets to make it work.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, honestly, a team like Indiana could make it work. They could give up a couple pieces for Giannis, and they could still have a competitive team. Houston is obviously, I think it's the primary location that Giannis would want to be. yeah, I think it's best for him to move on after this. Since their 2021 run, it's been pretty much failure after failure for the Bucks. They had a pretty bad collapse in the 2022 playoffs. And the Damian Lillard trade has worked out pretty much as poorly as it possibly could at this point.
It's pretty unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate that pretty much for 2 games, Bucks fans got to see a healthy Dame and Giannis play together in the playoffs, and in one of them, Dame tore his Achilles. So it's pretty awful.
Yeah, it is pretty tragic for Bucks fans. But when we get back, we're going to be talking Nuggets, Clippers, and then we're talking a little bit of NFL news. I'm sure there's something you guys are dying to hear our opinions about. So make sure you stick around for Jake's Hot Takes, only on WGNY 1220 94.5 News Talk Sports. We'll be right back after this.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostics. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
You've long known that Newburgh Auto Spa on Route 17K utilizes top caliber products and the latest technology to give your vehicle the proper maintenance it needs. Whether it be a computerized soft cloth car wash, detailing consisting of a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper cleaning of your entire interior and exterior, or a fuel-efficient oil change from a trained technician, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Now, Newburgh Auto Spa is a full-service automotive center. That's right, Newburgh Auto Spa now offers tires, brakes, rotors, tune-ups, alternators, and more, all with the same professionalism and quality you've become accustomed to. For a full list of automotive services offered in specials, go to NewburghAutospa.com. Whether you need a basic car wash, a quick oil change, or now more extensive automotive service, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean, located at 86 Route 17K and online at NewburghAutospa.com. Now offering a full range of automotive services. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to romadeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, what makes my oven smell so bad when I self-clean?
Self-clean, my favorite weapon in the world. Self-cleaning is a brutal environment. Most people don't think about it. They hear self-clean. I'm not really sure if they're picturing scrubbing bubbles inside there, but what's really happening is we're heating the oven up hot enough to carbonize protein. We're going to take the food stuff that's left in your stove, and we're actually going to carbonize it. We're going to turn it to dust. So we're at 700 degrees. So why does it smell bad? You're setting fire to a chicken. Today, a lot of the new stoves, because of the energy guidelines, there is no real self-clean anymore. They don't want those high temperatures. It's a huge waste of energy. It's very easy. You don't have to get on your hands and knees and your back doesn't hurt. You're not scrubbing the stove, but we use a ton of energy to clean the inside of that stove by heating it up.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to Jake's Hot Takes. Before we start, Jake's Hot Takes would just like to remind you all that we love you. Thank you for listening to our show. Anyway, let's jump right into it. Clippers and Nuggets, Game 4, series tied 2-2. The Nuggets finished with a 101-99 victory on the road. Big win for the Nuggets.
Huge.
Pretty much about all you could hope for, right?
Yeah, I mean, that Aaron Gordon buzzer-beating dunk was just nuts.
Do you think it should have counted?
Crazy. Yeah,
because
100%.
I see a lot of angry Clippers fans saying that it shouldn't have counted.
He got it off. His hand was through the rim.
Yeah, they said that
when the buzzer went off.
They said that when the buzzer went off, he was still touching the ball, so you can't count it as a shot.
The
but I
ball
think that's
was
pretty
through
dumb.
the rim. I think that's dumb.
pretty. Yeah, Clippers fans. You know what, Clippers fan? If you're a Clippers fan, comment down below why it shouldn't have counted and why the Clippers should be up 3-1.
The thing is that they called it on the court. There wouldn't be enough to overturn that call.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, even if they, and what, we're going to challenge it 2 days after it happens? It's like, let's not be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was a lot more to that game other than just the incredible Aaron Gordon putback dunk to win the game. There was a lot more to it. Nikola Jokic had himself a monstrous 36 points, 21 rebounds, 8 assists on 14 of 25 from the field, and 3 for 6 from 3. Wow.
Yeah.
Jokic is quickly cementing himself as one of the greatest playoff performers the game has ever seen.
I mean, he's just unbelievable. 21 rebounds is just nuts. That's 21 chances to get a shot off.
That's pretty much
about it like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
And he does it so effortlessly. It really is such a talent out of Jokic. I gotta say, though, I like this new Jokic that we're seeing. I mean, everybody was making the jokes around last year, and then when the Nuggets won the championship, they were talking about how, Jokic doesn't care. He just wants to go back to, Serbia and be with his horses and stuff. I love that Jokic is finally breaking the joke about him that he doesn't care about basketball, because he was hollering down there.
He cares.
He was red in the face. That man, if there was any doubt that man's loyalty to the sport, there you go. He was red-faced and screaming. And Matt, be honest with me. Do you think Mike Malone is the only reason that the Clippers are still in this series? Do you think Mike Malone being fired is the only reason that the Clippers have managed to hang in there?
No. I think if the Nuggets front office made that move knowing full and well that it was for the best of the team for a successful playoffs. So there has to be something we don't know about that. They must have done it for a reason. The timing was too awkward for them to not have a really good reason to do it in terms of the play on the court.
Right.
So I think that this is a good thing for Jokic. He can really prove that he is, without a proven coach, he is a good enough offensive engine to win a series and make a run. And I think he's doing that. He's been playing fantastic. I mean, obviously this game with 21 rebounds, 36 points, and the first couple of games he's had above 23 in each of those games, and this was his biggest scoring performance yet. But they needed him to step up, especially since Russell Westbrook is out. And they play also tonight, will be played already by the time this episode airs.
Whoops.
But I think he's playing great, and it should be enough to keep them competitive for this whole series.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because you think of the coaching discrepancy between whatever interim assistant head coach the Nuggets are running right now, and Ty Lue, the Nuggets head coach. It is a massive discrepancy, but I think you're right. I think Jokic is an intelligent enough player. He's almost kind of having this LeBron effect right now, where it kind of didn't really matter who was coaching the team when LeBron was on it, because LeBron was smart enough to get everybody in their places anyway. I like that leadership aspect out of Jokic. I love that he has always been the driving force for this team, but you definitely can't deny how tough these Clippers are playing the Nuggets right now. I mean, Zubac is having the series of his life, having to guard, one of possibly the greatest offensive center that the game has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, all things considered, keeping Jokic to under 40 points, nice job, Zubac.
Yeah,
it's not easy. It's not
pretty
easy.
good.
He basically does whatever he wants out there.
Yeah, well, the Clippers also are playing well. Obviously, a healthy Kawhi Leonard and healthy James Harden is going to be very good towards winning basketball games. And this one was that close. They were this close to taking a 3-1 lead on the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And it just didn't go their way. Zubac has been playing fantastic. Norm Powell, still a great player for them. this game really will go to 7 games. I feel like this is such a competitive series.
Yeah, I think it has to. I think for my sake, it has to because I want to see this series go to 7 games. These games are electric, and seeing a healthy and happy James Harden and Kawhi Leonard playing on the same team, it just makes me so happy. It makes me feel so joyous. I love both of these players, and getting to watch them work together, man, it's a lot of fun. But anything else on Clippers and Nuggets, Matt?
No, thank you.
All right, we're moving on to the state of the NFL post-draft. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to kick off the board by saying, Matt, how did the Dolphins do?
They did okay. I don't hate the selection of Kenneth Graham. Definitely not. I think he can be a good player. Other than that, I think we did a good job addressing a really big team need that we needed, defensive tackle. Run stopping was a big issue last year. Run defense was one of the worst in the league. And why not get a huge guy that can affect that? They also traded up in the second round to get Jonas Savanaia, guard from Arizona. I like that move. If they really that high on him and they think he was going to be the future of the franchise, why not go up and get him?
Right.
As the Rams' mentality is, screw them picks. Thought that was pretty good. What I didn't like was giving up, trading back from the 3rd round to get some more 5th round guys. I didn't think that was a great idea. I wish we would have stuck around and maybe got a bit of a higher pick there. But they stacked up on the defensive backs. Got Jordan Marshall Jr. from Florida, Dante Trader from Maryland. One of the more interesting picks is Quinn Ewers, Texas quarterback.
That is an interesting pick.
It's an interesting pick, but probably will have no impact. It's just hopefully he doesn't play.
Yeah, if Tua's brains get turned into a smoothie again, he might be
then
useful.
Zach Wilson will play. But then when Zach Wilson gets
when Zach Wilson gets hurt.
When Zach Wilson gets hurt, maybe go give Quinn Ewers a shot.
Yeah, I mean it's never a bad thing having a young, high upside quarterback on your roster.
Yeah, why not?
Who cares, right? Yeah, it's not.
But the thing about with drafts is that
big deal.
you're not gonna be able to judge it until the guys start playing.
Exactly. Exactly.
See how that goes. I really do like the Kenneth Grant selection, even though a lot of Dolphins fans wanted to see offensive tackle in the 1st round. Mm-hmm. This guy looks huge, and it's a really pressing team need. So I really like it. And trading up in the 2nd round to get a guard, I think that's a good deal too.
Yeah, I mean the offensive line help was definitely needed.
Yeah. How do you think the Chiefs did?
That is a great question. Our first pick, we traded down 1 pick in the draft with Philadelphia, which we shouldn't be trading with Philly. If Philly ever has a guy that they think they want to go for, don't let them have it. Don't let Philly get in an advantageous position. They do this every year. But we're not talking about Philly right now. Josh Simmons, offensive tackle out of Ohio State. I love this pick. This guy is huge. He is tough. He is agile. And I read a scouting report after we drafted him that said that if his injury history is of no concern and he makes a full recovery and can play like a full normal career, he said it is the last left tackle that Patrick Mahomes will ever play with. And to me,
I think that's true.
That sounds perfect. That sounds like exactly what we need after, so many years of complaining about the offensive line. Josh Simmons hopefully will be our Lord and Savior. He does, of course, have that injury concern, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to see him start late in the season, even though I'm not really anticipating seeing him on the field until next season. I've heard some reports floating around saying that he might get a few looks this season, so I am hopeful. I'm very excited, but I have a specific pick, pick number 66, Ashton Gillette, I believe his name is pronounced. This guy is crazy. He was our 3rd round pick. He is so stocky and wide. I'm like, oh my goodness, how are you built like this? And he's got this super long flowing hair, and all the highlights they showed, he was just mauling people. We got like a real proper beast man on the roster right now, and I could not be more excited about it. I skimmed over our 2nd round pick, Omar Norman Lott. We always need help in the defensive back department, so I'm perfectly fine with that. But anyway, back to Ashton Gillette, one of my new favorite players on the team. I just love the vibe that this guy brings, so I am super excited to see what he can get done. We had a few more picks in the third round. We had Noel Williams, another cornerback. I'm happy with that. Jalen Royals absolutely passes the name test, wide receiver out of Utah State. I'm excited for him, but, I fell in love with a fourth-round wide receiver selection once. His name was Cornell Powell. He never saw the field.
Who is Cornell Powell?
Yeah, he's one of the deepest pulls you've ever seen.
Yeah.
No. He's just like a draft pick from like 6 or 7 years ago, I think. We drafted him in the fourth round, and I was like, this guy's going to be the future. We got our guy. Yeah. And he never saw, I think he's still on the practice squad, actually, but I don't think he ever saw the field. So Cornell Powell, if you're listening to this, I love you, man.
I think Jalen Royals is coming for Sky Moore's job.
Oh, yeah? I think I could be coming for Sky Moore's job, and I could successfully take it from him. I think all you got to do is have 2 working legs and a working brain, and you've already got to step up over Sky Moore.
You ever thought about how Sky Moore wears 24 as a receiver?
Yeah, I always did think that was kind of weird. That's like a defensive back number. That's not a
It's just like you see him wear that and you know he's going to suck.
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, that was the indicator before anything else. But when we get back, we're talking about the hottest drama in all of the draft. We're talking about Shador. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure you stay tuned. Only on Jake's Hot Takes, only on WGNY 1220 94.5 News Talk Sports. We'll be right back after this.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostics. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
You've long known that Newburgh Auto Spa on Route 17K utilizes top caliber products and the latest technology to give your vehicle the proper maintenance it needs. Whether it be a computerized soft cloth car wash, detailing consisting of a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper cleaning of your entire interior and exterior, or a fuel-efficient oil change from a trained technician, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Now, Newburgh Auto Spa is a full-service automotive center. That's right, Newburgh Auto Spa now offers tires, brakes, rotors, tune-ups, alternators, and more, all with the same professionalism and quality you've become accustomed to. For a full list of automotive services offered in specials, go to NewburghAutospa.com. Whether you need a basic car wash, a quick oil change, or now more extensive automotive service, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean, located at 86 Route 17K and online at NewburghAutospa.com. Now offering a full range of automotive services. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to romadeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, what makes my oven smell so bad when I self-clean?
Self-clean, my favorite weapon in the world. Self-cleaning is a brutal environment. Most people don't think about it. They hear self-clean. I'm not really sure if they're picturing scrubbing bubbles inside there, but what's really happening is we're heating the oven up hot enough to carbonize protein. We're going to take the food stuff that's left in your stove, and we're actually going to carbonize it. We're going to turn it to dust. So we're at 700 degrees. So why does it smell bad? You're setting fire to a chicken. Today, a lot of the new stoves, because of the energy guidelines, there is no real self-clean anymore. They don't want those high temperatures. It's a huge waste of energy. It's very easy. You don't have to get on your hands and knees and your back doesn't hurt. You're not scrubbing the stove, but we use a ton of energy to clean the inside of that stove by heating it up.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Hello, Shedeur Sanders fans.
And haters.
And haters, and welcome to Jake's Hot Takes. Before we begin the Shedeur Sanders discussion, Matt, would you please identify your affiliation as either a Shedeur Sanders lover, hater, or neutral thinker?
I'm a Shedeur Sanders neutral thinker.
Okay, I'm a Shedeur Sanders
neutral.
hater, so we should probably get a third person on the board to balance things out here.
Can we get AI to talk for us, please? Like, we can talk to an
I'll just
AI.
pull up a chat bot and tell him, be as favorable to Shedeur Sanders as you possibly can. No. I'm not really... Okay, I say I'm a Shedeur Sanders hater, but I don't hate the guy personally. I'm not about to come up here on the radio and say that I hate him. I just don't really like his attitude, honestly.
Like the frat boy prank calling him. That's too much.
Yeah, that was... No, I
You're
agree.
ruining you're ruining a guy's night.
Yeah, you're taking a dump on a guy.
You're taking a dump on a guy who's already falling down the draft, and then you're like... God, I'm so excited, and that's just doing too much. That wasn't even funny. That's just messed up in all levels.
And that was the Falcons defensive coordinator's son that did that?
Jets legend Jeff Ulbrich, his son.
Oh my goodness.
Found an iPad that was open and had Shedeur Sanders' name and contact information on it, and decided to be pretty funny to call him. Give him a little prank call.
Yeah, I just wish that he made the prank call funnier. It wasn't all that funny. He was just kind of like, oh, you still got to wait, bud. And then that was that. It's like, really? You're not going to like be funny about it?
Yeah, no, it was pretty cringe, but Shedeur Sanders had an unprecedented draft slide in this draft. He went from being mocked as a top 3 pick to then being mocked as the Steelers pick 21, then falling out of day 1, falling out of day 2, and eventually being selected round 5, pick 6 by the Cleveland Browns, who, mind you, already selected a quarterback earlier in the draft.
Yeah, what do you think was going on with that? Why would they select Dylan and Shedeur in the same draft?
I hate this process. I really do. I think Shedeur Sanders has more upside than Dylan Gabriel. I don't think the Browns or Kevin Stefanski wanted to select Shedeur. I don't think they wanted him, but then the owner came to them and was like, you have to select Shedeur. Take Shedeur. And I think part of Shedeur's fall is there's a lot of media circus around Shedeur. Mm-hmm. And the Browns are not a very quarterback stable franchise.
No.
Especially stemming from the fact that they have like 6 quarterbacks on their roster right now.
Yeah.
Being Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson. Even though Deshaun Watson might as well not even be there because he's more of just a liability tax.
It's crazy. Who do you think is the best quarterback in that room right now, genuinely?
Probably Joe Flacco. It is. I mean,
you think over Shedeur?
Yeah, at least he has 20 years of NFL experience.
I guess so. I don't know. But think about it. He's also got 20 years of NFL experience on those knees.
True. But I just hate this process because if you weren't going to take him, just don't take a quarterback before him because that's just going to make it worse. I don't understand.
So you think there was a little bit of organizational discord that was coming out of Cleveland
100%.
where Stefanski was drawing that line in the sand saying we're not drafting Shedeur?
Have you seen the War Room video of them selecting Shedeur?
No, I haven't seen it.
Everyone in the draft room is dead-faced. They're not excited. They didn't care. There had to be something going on behind the scenes.
Interesting.
And honestly, I guess it was really these interviews were really that bad.
Yeah, that's what I heard is that the interviews were bad.
The thing about the media circus, like the people saying that, Deion Sanders is too crazy with the media. The amount of problems that some of these people, the amount of legal issues that some of these players have coming to the draft, and those teams will still draft them while they're a good player. A media circus would not be enough to just let them slide this far. I think that Shedeur Sanders did not have the level of tape that he was predicted to have or wasn't that great of a prospect, honestly. And they just decided he wasn't great enough, so he fell for that reason. And I think definitely the media circus didn't help. I think it can be treated in the same way as legal issues can. But I just don't like this fit for Shedeur, especially because the Browns didn't even take Travis Hunter. I think I would be able to talk myself into this more if the Browns stuck at 2 and drafted Travis Hunter. I just don't like this draft process by the Browns at all, honestly.
Yeah, the Browns did have a pretty rough draft. But building on what you were saying about Shedeur thinking that his tape was better than it was, I saw a video not too long ago on this whole situation. And the person making the video said that one of the things, the fatal flaws that Shedeur and Deion made was that they didn't make any effort to make any particular team like them. They assumed that Shedeur's tape would be good enough to get him drafted into the NFL, which it was. But from what it seems like, Deion and Shedeur didn't make any effort to build connections with any of the potential teams that were drafting them. They just, put their hands to the wind and said, whatever happens, happens. And this is the result of that, Not to mention, I can see why a team wouldn't want to draft Shedeur Sanders, considering Deion has said on multiple occasions that he is interested in coaching his son in the NFL. So what does that say to any head coach that's looking to draft Shedeur? Hey, if you draft my son, I'm coming for your job. Does that sound like an appealing draft pick to you as a head coach?
Definitely not. In general, I did not like the draft process by the Browns, trading down 3 picks, passing up on Travis Hunter. I just don't think it was worth it for me, especially if they were going to end up taking Shedeur anyway.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make much sense. Even though they had a lot of picks, and I don't even hate Mason Graham as a defensive tackle. I think that's honestly a pretty good pick for them. I just think Travis Hunter would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, Travis Hunter is, in no uncertain terms, a generational football player. He will be. I have full confidence that his college talents will translate just fine into the NFL. He's an incredibly hardworking player. He has the mentality that coaches are looking for. He maintained a 4.0 GPA while he was playing both sides of the ball. So this guy, for all I can care, this guy can do whatever he wants.
While on the topic of Travis Hunter, did you see that he is both third in betting odds to win Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year?
See, that is the kind of thing that makes you... I'm sure the Jaguars are breathing a sigh of relief knowing that they got Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
That is the kind of draft pick that is the kind of situation that validates your draft pick before that guy has even played a snap. That's how much faith we have in Travis Hunter as a society. Do you think there's a possibility that he does win both? Do you think there's a possibility he plays both sides? I feel like I'm losing my mind here.
There's no way he's going to win both.
He would
really
need to
don't
have
think
some
so.
highlight reel, wouldn't he?
He would need to play considerable snaps at both positions.
Yeah, and he's probably not going to be able to do that.
The only way I could see it happening is if he's pretty good if he plays all offensive snaps, and any time that he's playing defensive back, he's just a ball hawk and he's getting interception after interception after interception.
Yeah,
then I could see it happening. But other than that, I don't think it's possible, especially with the defensive talent you have in this draft. I mean, you have someone like Abdul Carter, who is just so talented.
Yeah,
people like Mason Graham, so talented. So I don't think that's going to happen. Well, on the topic of Abdul Carter, what about the Giants draft process?
I think it was phenomenal. I think this is one of the best drafts. Even if you just take the first round, I think this is one of the best first rounds the Giants have had in quite a long time. I think Abdul Carter is a can't-miss prospect who is going to game wreck for this franchise for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I do think Jackson Dart is the future. I know that you're an anti-Jackson Dart
I'm
guy,
not a fan.
But I think he's the future. I think Brian Daboll is so good with his quarterbacks. I think they can absolutely develop him into an NFL caliber quarterback.
Now, I can see the argument where Jackson Dart, this is Daboll's guy. Like Daboll, he's been the coach of the Giants for 3 years now, and he's never had his guy. He's always had Daniel Jones.
Or Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. But the thing is that Dart is just not a polished NFL prospect whatsoever. I think the Abdul Carter selection is great. I think this Giants defensive line is going to be one of the best in football. I mean, they've got Dexter Lawrence. They've got Abdul Carter now. They've got Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. It's a great defensive line and a great defense in general for the Giants. I just hope that I don't think Jackson Dart should play this year. I really don't.
Last thing I'm going to say, because we're almost out of time here. What is the one thing that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson all had in common when they got drafted?
They sat a year.
They said that they were unpolished.
Oh.
So that is not any indication of whether or not a quarterback is good or bad or not. And that is going to do it for this episode of Jake's Hot Takes. Make sure you tune in Sunday, same time, same place. We're going to be running it back. Thank you for listening to Jake's Hot Takes only on WGNY 1220 94.5 News Talk Sports. We love you. Thanks for listening, folks.